Welcome back to another episode of Cobra Kai Kompanion. This is the first interview of 2022, and I am Peter.
And I am Brihana.
And joining us is Milena Rivero. How are you doing, Milena?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You played the character of Leah, and there's a bit of a, I'm going to use the term loosely, but a love triangle between your character, Kenny, and Anthony. And I don't know if anyone's really, I'm sure people have already kind of connected the dots, but your name is also an anagram of Allie with an I.
You know, I didn't even realize that till yesterday.
Okay.
Someone showed me like, oh, your name rearranged as Allie. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense considering we have this triangle going on. But right? Yeah, no, I just realized that.
The reason I thought of that, because it's just like, oh, I wonder why is it spelled that way, you know, because I'm used to like LEA or something, or, you know, things like that. So, but yeah, let's learn a little bit more about you. You're born and raised in Miami?
Yes, born and raised in Miami, Florida. So yeah, no, well, my mom's side is Costa Rican, so all her family's there. And then my dad's side's Cuban, which lives here, obviously. But yeah, so I'm basically just from here.
And you've been not just acting, but you've been kind of working since you were like 2 years old?
Yeah, I started off just modeling for like, you know, magazines when I was little, and I did print jobs. And then towards when I was, I think, 5 years old, around that time, I did commercials, and then being on set kind of transitioned me into doing self-tapes and then filming. So that's where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
fantastic.
Since I was little.
One of the other projects, and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole because originally I did the research just to see what it was like, but Kids Do.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it. There was like 21 episodes. Most of it seemed to be on YouTube, and it's basically a learning show. You know, bunch of kids teaching a lot of things. You had a lot of different sequences. You've learned a lot of different cultures. There's one of you doing Bollywood dancing.
Mm-hmm.
There's the segment with you in a huge brain.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like your experience on Kids Do?
Yeah, well, I think I did that when I was obviously littler. But that filming set and everything really like helped me be like an actor I am today, because you obviously have to be professional on set for doing that for 3 years straight, because I filmed that over a course of 3 years. It just like, you know, made me used to being on a set and being around actors. And I met a lot of great friends on that show. So people I'm still friends with today, really good friends, since we're all actors like around the same age. But yeah, I think it was a really great experience to be on there, at least for, you know, my younger years in an acting world.
Are a lot of the sets like CGI? Because I know there was now obviously the big brain. I can't imagine them having built the entire lab.
No, yeah, that is CGI, and obviously green screen. But we did go to a lot of places just to like interview people. I did a lot of interviews for book authors. So yeah, no, I did interview a bunch of those authors, which are great people, by the way.
Yeah, there was one where there was a gentleman painting like marlins and stuff, and you got to learn about fish. Like you mentioned, you like an author that won one of those book awards. I think your line was like it's like an Oscar but for books. What were some of the your favorite people that you met just because you thought their story was just so fascinating?
Great. I think one of my favorites is Saman Chainani. I really hope I'm getting the right name right. I interviewed him, and I have some signed copies of his book actually. And I remember that like I started reading the books and I was like, wow, this is really, really interesting. And now I'm seeing his books are getting really popular, so I'm really excited for him. And a bunch of my friends are reading his books, which is even more exciting. Like I was like, oh, you know, I have a signed copy, just saying, you know, like I get to brag about it. But I think that his story in the book in general is just amazing. I mean, like the plot is really good. So, you know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, transitioning just a little bit into Cobra Kai, since they filmed obviously during COVID protocol, how did you find out about the role? How did you audition for the role?
Well, you know, being in Florida, I do a lot of self-tapes. So like auditions virtually or filming them. Actually, I filmed them here, if you couldn't tell. But I do a lot of that, and I have been doing that since I kind of transitioned into film instead of commercial and stuff. So it was not a big transition for me to do COVID, because everything just went to self-tape. So I was just keep on doing what I'm doing, you know? And since so much stuff is filming in LA and Atlanta, everything I do is self-tape. So getting Cobra Kai through a self-tape was actually just kind of the regular, you know, even though there was COVID, I was still doing self-tapes, you know?
Now, for the role of Leo, did you have an agent that came to you with the role? Is that how
Yeah.
you found out about it?
Well, I'm my manager, and then I did the role. And actually, interestingly enough, this is a kind of unique audition for me, because I did the audition, sent in the tape. I kind of forgot about it like a week later, because I was just like, you know, chilling, living my life. And then I remember getting like the call that I booked it, and I was like, I didn't even have a callback yet or anything like that. It was basically just doing the audition and then booking it and then going to do it. So I was like kind of surprised, because usually, you know, that large like step process you have to get the role. But this one was very quick, surprisingly.
I do have one more question before we continue further on with Cobra Kai. I completely forgot about this, and I feel I would probably continue forgetting about it. But one of your previous projects as well, and I don't want to get into too much of it because there's like a huge twist involved in the film, but Sweet Girl, where you played the daughter of Jason Momoa.
Yeah, that was a while ago actually. But it just came out. So go watch it.
On
So
Netflix, yep.
on Netflix. I played the younger version, and if I'm being honest, I did, you know, I saw the movie in advance, of course, but like I was surprised by the twist completely. I was not expecting it at all, but you know, I think it was a really great movie. And meeting Jason Momoa and Adria Arjona and all the great actors there, like it was amazing.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa, I met him at a couple of Stargate conventions several years ago. He was one of my favorite celebrities to go see. He was so friendly, just and funny. Oh, he's so funny.
Yeah. He's really nice. He's really funny. He was the first actor of all of them I met, because I met him when I wasn't filming. I like met him when I first got to Pittsburgh, where we filmed it. And he was like a teddy bear of a human, if that makes sense. Like he was so nice. He was genuinely amazing.
He looks like a big teddy bear. I mean, like all his pictures with him smiling, like he just looks like a friendly person. And everything we hear about from, we have one of our moderators, Sensei Pialani. She has, I believe she's also met him too, at one of the cons probably. But yeah, it's I think I missed out on a chance to meet him here in Portland as well. One of the cons, like the day I went, he wasn't there, kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones, and you know, obviously he's Aquaman. So
Yeah.
maybe one day.
Yeah,
All right.
one day.
Yeah. So Cobra Kai, when you are self-taping for your role of Leah, what dialogue were you giving? Were you giving something generic or something actually from one of the scripts?
I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
have no idea, but the most I can say is I'm pretty sure it was in the script. That's all I can say though.
okay. Because what we've heard like from other people, like usually they're kind of generic lines, you know,
Yeah,
something
of course they
similar.
like definitely changed it, but I think I knew where they were going with it in the show.
I see.
So having worked with Jason Momoa, obviously you've been exposed to, you know, the big stars. Did you have any nerves or any just a general anxiousness about meeting Ralph or Billy? Were you able to meet them, or
Yeah,
were you?
I did get to see them. I got to say hi. I think I didn't really have any nerves to meet them until I did, if that makes sense. I mean,
Yep.
I saw them and then I was just kind of starstruck, and I was like, hi, nice to meet you. You know, like I didn't really expect to be like taken aback, but you know how it is. Like you just
Yep.
get starstruck.
She knows a little bit about that.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah.
Now, how familiar with you with like the Karate Kid movies or Cobra Kai before hearing about the audition?
So I did watch The Karate Kid with my dad when I was little. We watched the trilogy or the saga. And you know, my mom and my dad, my bad. My dad really, really loves action movies. So that was one of his favorite movies, Karate Kid. So we watched that when I was little and I really loved it. And then with my mom, I started watching Cobra Kai. And around season 2-ish, I think we were just watching and like binging it. And then we got the audition and I was like, you know, what a coincidence. And then I did the audition and then I got it and I was like, well, I'm already a fan. So it was kind of amazing to just be on set and see all the people you see on your screen, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. Now, most of your scenes were with either Griffin or Dallas, or
Mhm.
sometimes both of them.
Yes.
And it's with Griffin, especially because we've seen him grow up from, you know, the little chubby 10-year-old to the 14-year-old who's supposed to only be 12 right now. How, when you were acting opposite them, were you comfortable with each other? Because your chemistry with both of them was just like astounding. So I was wondering if that was like a natural chemistry, or did you guys have to practice over and over to get it right?
I mean, no, I think they're really amazing people. I mean, we got to know each other throughout the time I was filming, and I think they're like both great actors, and honestly, I really admire them. And you know, getting to work with them, I think was really easy. Like we just connected really well, which I'm so glad and so grateful for that the chemistry was there. But yeah, no, it was really easy working with them.
Now, for your character, did you were you given any kind of backstory, or did you have to create any on your own? Because they're in dialogue, we do find out that Leah and Anthony know each other since like elementary school.
Yeah, yeah, we do. So actually, I don't know if I can say anything about the backstory, but
Okay.
I mean, basically from what I can tell, I mean, I only read the episodes that I'm in, and then I watch it on the big screen, you know, with everyone else. But I think that she's a really interesting character that I could have a great backstory. So we'll see.
So if you weren't in the scenes when Anthony and Kenny would fight over you, when you watched that on TV, how did that feel, seeing them come to literal blows over you?
Um, oh, well, thank you. First of all, flattered. Um, but I mean, I knew that they were gonna have some sort of fight. I knew that. I including the fist and everything, but seeing it on the screen was just I mean, it took me aback because I was like, oh my God, why is Dallas hitting Griffin so much? Like all this anger being unleashed. Like, but I think that they're such great actors. I really believe it, you know? But you know, honestly flattered. That's how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic with the three characters because Anthony has known Leah since they were kids. And I guess, you know, he has kind of fallen for her now in middle school, but she's paying him no attention. All the attention is going to the new kid there. Now, have you spent much time with like Dawson Griffin like prior to actually filming, to like kind of what Brianna said about you guys' chemistry?
Yeah, actually we met on set. So for the first time. We did like hang out like outside of set or on set, just not filming, you know, and practicing lines and just getting to know each other and whatnot. But I think our first scene is when I first met them. And then we got to know each other really well, which was great that our chemistry was that good.
That really was great. Griffin has been posting a lot of behind the scenes photos of him with everyone.
Mhm.
But it's like selfie stick kind of, and then there's one where like all of you kids are together
Mhm.
out in the parking lot. Do you remember how that picture came around or came about?
Oh, I don't actually think I'm in that one, if I'm being
Oh, you're
honest.
not?
That might have been when I left, because I left a little earlier, you know. But I think that might be when I left.
Oh
There are,
no.
don't worry though. No, but they did tag me on that one, so I was like, should I edit my face onto it? I don't know.
Yeah, Photoshop yourself in.
I
Yeah,
think that's why I thought you were in there, because you know you were tagged on it. So
no,
yeah.
don't worry. Yeah.
So with your background and having watched Cobra Kai before actually being a part of the show, what was it like for you to see somebody like Sholo to be like the lead of the show, and for it to have gotten as big as it has globally?
Yeah, no, I think it's really great that we're starting to see a little more representation, because there's not a lot. I think like having him as like the main character for at least like 3 or 4 seasons, it just, I don't know, I thought it was really great that we got to see actually like Latino main character. He's not like trying to fit in stereotypes or whatever. Like he's the Karate Kid, or kind of like
He
the
is.
Karate Kid,
Mhm.
And I think it was just really great to see, being Latina and then him being Latino, it's kind of my representation.
Yeah. Did you by chance to at all maybe meet Vanessa or Rose, who play like Gaia and Carmen?
I didn't, sadly.
No?
I know.
Okay.
I got to see Sholo and then I got a little starstruck. So the words I could like blurb out were like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
Yeah.
But I
He
didn't
has
get
that
to.
effect on people.
Yes, he does. I literally was walking out of the trailer and I was like, "Hi," I was just, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's destined for greatness too. He's making the move into comic book movies, and the first Latino superhero to have his own movie, except for Miles. First live action. I know Miles exists,
Right.
and he was the first. So you said that you didn't get a call back. Your audition process wasn't what you expected because you booked it so quickly. So did they tell you anything about why? Like as soon as they saw you, they just knew you were Leah?
I don't think they ever told me, if I'm being honest. Like they just basically threw me into it, and I was like, okay, I gotta go with this, But I basically were already filming when I was on set, so I just got thrown into there.
And so you the last name Cabrera, did you not know that was your last name until you saw the show?
I didn't. You were the
Okay.
first one to tell me that.
Yeah.
I knew it was Leah. I was definitely knew I was Leah, and they never gave me a last name. And then when I saw that you were like Leah Cabrera, I was like, Cabrera.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was news to me.
I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's a nod to anybody, but like when I saw that, I was like, well, there's a Ryan Cabrera that's a musician, and he was kind of. It's been a while since he put something out, but I was just trying to see like where are they like pulling names from? Obviously there Anthony is catfishing Kenny, and the username is like Princess Leah. We obviously know where that comes from. So, but that's pretty cool. We'll see if that sticks around a little bit there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's a moment in, I'm forgetting, it was episode 4 or 7, but it must have been earlier. No, actually, it was episode 2. Now, do you kind of remember if you were given any kind of direction in the second episode where Kenny is walking down the hallway and everyone's kind of laughing at him? Leah isn't paying attention to anybody laughing. She doesn't get in on the laughing, but she walks by Kenny and just gives him a bit of a wave, and that's it. Do you kind of remember like if there was any discussion prior to filming that scene as to why he doesn't really acknowledge you, is a little embarrassed, and you just walk by with a little wave?
I think I was just basically told, like, you're gonna walk by Kenny. Everyone's gonna be I remember like everyone was laughing at him, which I felt so bad for, honestly. But no, they just told me like, oh, you can wave at, but like you didn't really pay attention to him, like Leah's just in her own world, apparently not noticing everyone's making fun of Kenny. And which I honestly feel bad, Leah. Come on, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Kenny was kind of just too embarrassed, maybe.
Yeah. I do find it interesting. There's a few moments where when you are seen with people, but for the most part, especially with more dialogue, Leah's by herself too. So it's not like she has her own clique. So I kind of like that. It's a little bit different, when like in the first season you see like Moon and Yasmin together all the time or something. Like Leah's just kind of by herself.
Yeah, I think that's like largely due to the fact that like Leah's supposed to be the character that everyone likes, and if everyone likes her, she can't really have her own, like group, because she can't be a group with everyone,
Right.
So I think that having her be just the overall likable character makes her also the most secluded,
Yeah.
Since you've been working fairly solidly for the last 3 years, are you able to attend a regular public school? Do you have a tutor? How are you doing school?
So interesting question. I am going to public school. So I guess I get this question a lot, quite often, because I guess well, most child actors are homeschooled, or like some form of homeschooling. But I do go to regular school. I love the school I'm at right now. It's an art school. I don't know if I want to say it because I don't want to dox myself or whatever. But it's an art school. Surprisingly, it's not an acting school, because I love like actual like art, drawing, painting, and fashion design. So that is genuinely one of my passions. So I'm going to school there for that. It's in high school, obviously. I'm 15. And I go to regular school like a normal kid. And then when I book something, I have to leave for a little bit. So yeah.
You brought that up, and I did see that in a brief interview. I believe that you mentioned you wanted to be a fashion designer. Did you get a chance to talk with Frank Helmer at all?
Sorry?
Frank Helmer, costume designer. Did you get a
No,
chance to?
I got to talk with the stylist because he was just talking to me and giving me all these fittings and stuff, and also the wardrobe for Leah. When we were doing the fittings, there was a lot of outfits that I would have worn like genuinely myself. So I was like, am I turning to Leah a little bit? Maybe. But yeah, no, we talked about wardrobe with the stylist, and yeah, but it's honestly every set I'm on. I try to talk to the stylist because that's one of my passions along with acting, and the process they go through is so amazing, honestly.
That's awesome. To the public school question, that really surprised me that you're able to attend a public school. Now, this came out obviously over Christmas break. I don't know, how your school is doing. Our school here goes back tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you expecting in the hallway when
I
you
don't
go
know.
back?
Well, before you answer that, the trailers and all that stuff came out. Well, I don't think Leah was. No, you weren't in those. Yeah. So people may not have seen you until you were actually on the show.
Yeah. The way a lot of my friends from like school or like my old school will be like, oh my God, you're all over my TikTok for you page, or why am I seeing you blowing up on Instagram? I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like,
It's the
honestly,
announcements, right? It's like all these other accounts,
yeah.
catching wind of your picture and Cobra Kai together, and so they're like, hey, new
Yeah.
new cast. So
Yep.
let me ask you this: what do you think about some of those theories out there? You possibly being Julie Pierce's daughter. I saw some of these, some of the, because I follow a lot of other content creators too. But what do you think about some of these videos?
No, I saw it, and I saw a lot of like YouTube videos about it too. And honestly, I have no idea. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But I think it was crazy. Like a lot of people are like really invested in the show, which I really like, and a lot of people are really liking the character Leah, which I'm so excited for. I was not expecting everyone to love Leah as much as they do. I mean, I was expecting a little bit, but this is like a lot, and I'm really excited for me as an actress and Leah the character.
One of my favorite scenes with Leah in it is the strawberry jelly scene with Dallas. And that is actually where I noticed how easy and natural and comfortable your chemistry with him was. Did you guys practice that scene? Was any of it improvised? Or was every word written on the page?
Pretty sure we did like a bunch of different versions of that. But we did practice beforehand. Like we were in between scenes, or we were just hanging out around set and like talking about our lines. I definitely, that helps a lot with chemistry. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't really remember if we had different versions of the scene. We might have, because every take is going to be a little different, especially, in lines and everything. So I think they had me do it a few different ways, and then they picked the one that's on the show.
Now, season 4 for a lot of people, it was like a game changer in terms of things that happen with the characters and stuff. What was some of your favorite moments as a fan of the show as well, like just to see unfold in season 4?
Yeah, I think, well, there's a few of them, but the most, like, the thing that had me on the edge of my seat was the All Valley, like that fight between Sam and Tori. I was just like waiting to see who would win, because I didn't know. I wasn't in that episode, so I didn't get to read it. But I was just like, waiting to see who won, you know, and I was secretly rooting for Tori, I have to say.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love her character development, so I was really excited for her to win at the end. Spoiler warning. And then I think another really like, oh my God, touching and heartbreaking at the same time is when Johnny was like drunk, almost passed out, and he said like, "Oh, I love you," and then Mika was like, "I love you too," and then he said, "I love you, Robbie," and I was like, oh.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that was like so like heartbreaking because Miguel's face in that, I was like,
Oh,
no.
Sholo destroyed me with
Yeah.
that scene. He did a
Yeah.
fantastic job. While you were between scenes, and you know, if you're doing like one scene in the morning, one scene in the afternoon, did they allow you, or were you able to go to any of the other sets where they were filming other scenes? Did you get to watch any of the other filming?
I got to pass by while they were filming a lot of stuff. Mostly I just stayed around set, you know, during my scenes and everything. A lot of it was, you know, most of my time there was I spent like doing lines, hanging out with the kids, doing scenes, or COVID testing. COVID. Oh, I had to COVID test so many times. But no, yeah, I got to see some scenes get filmed, but not completely all of them.
As we get ready to wrap up, there's a few things I'd like to know more about too. For you being somebody so young, and maybe this is a reason you want to get into fashion design, but you fancy yourself some Audrey Hepburn.
I do.
So
I love it.
tell me about that.
Oh, I think the obsession started a little when I was like actually really little. I started watching a lot of her like old movies, so like Breakfast at Tiffany's, Funny Face, Roman Holiday. The list goes on. Sabrina, like everything. And I kind of just like fell in love with her. And I have her like everywhere around my room. I could show you right now. Has posters and posters of her. I have collectors also of her. Like, I think she was just such an elegant person and an amazing actress, of course. And honestly, I think she's just a really good and big role model for me in my career.
That's awesome. Yeah,
When
I
when
mean,
I was younger and I wanted to be an actress, the two that I watched were Audrey Hepburn and Betty Davis.
Ooh, yeah.
Loved Betty Davis. Oh my God. So do you have anything coming up? Any auditions that you can talk about, or any roles that you can talk about coming up in the future?
I don't know if we can talk about auditions, but I can say that I have a movie coming up with Eugenio Derbez called The Ballet. I'm in that, so look forward to that.
yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out on that. And my last question, this is all, you know, uh, without spoiling anything. You mentioned Tori and her character. Are you team Cobra Kai, or is there a dojo that like if Leah could join a dojo, or maybe just you, which dojo would you like to join if you could?
I don't know about Leah, but for me, you know, I was thinking about this earlier, and I was saying most likely Cobra Kai. If I'm being completely honest, like probably Cobra Kai. I think, well, they won so many things, like they have a reputation of winning, and I kind of want to be on the winner's side, you know,
Okay,
personally.
that's
So I
fair.
think it'd be Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
And
there's
be like
plenty.
Piper, join for the aesthetic.
Yes.
See, there you go. Yeah, they got some
Yeah.
pretty cool merch, and we heard Champion's going to be releasing some stuff pretty soon too.
Interesting.
So yeah, a lot of Cobra Kai merch. So very interesting. Brian, you got any other questions here?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, yeah, Milena, thank you so much for speaking with us. If people don't follow you, do you welcome to the interaction where people might be able to find you on social media?
Yeah, sure. My Instagram handle is Milena_Rivero_official. So follow me there.
Yeah, we'll definitely tag you in all the posts. Yeah,
Just a
we
reminder to those who might follow, please remember she's 15 years old.
yes, we
Yes, please.
yeah. Hmm. Brianna, where can people find you if they want to hear the conversation?
I am Brihana25 on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Archive of Our Own, fanfiction.net. Throw DeviantArt in there again, LiveJournal in there again. I'm also on Dreamwidth and that other one that I can't remember, but I'm pretty well everywhere.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you know, we're going to be putting up a lot of different segments and all these different new content. So subscribe if you guys haven't yet already. You can find me on Twitter at Cobra Kai Pod, on Instagram at Cobra Kai Companion, and our website, CobraKaiCompanion.com, where we have links to all of our interviews. Milena is going to be number 83. So there we go. We're on the road to 100.
And
We'll see where
please hit the
we go.
like button so the algorithm picks it up, and that helps us, get out to more people. So thank you
Absolutely.
for that.
Yeah. So again, thanks to Milena for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for everybody tuning in, and we are crossing our fingers that we hope to see Leah return in the upcoming season. So so that way we can speak to you again if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks. Bye-bye.